which is kind of fun. I started to put another profile in my little dice rolling app, but I'm like, everything in this game is so simple. It's usually like 1 or 2 dice.
Yeah.
It's like there's not really a need to
I think
fill
the
out a whole
only
dice rolling set thing in my app.
can it do 2 different colors of dice? Because that's the most
No, but the
important
way
part.
I always did it was just for me, I always roll light and then dark. Like for
Cool.
me, it's I roll 2 dice. The first one's always light. The second one's always dark.
Sweet.
Just to establish that convention.
Where
Nice.
is my spaceship, Mark?
You're
I heard
gonna
we were
make a spaceship altogether.
supposed to get spaceships.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the spaceship stuff since that was
Yeah, that's all group stuff.
Yeah.
I was told a spaceship would be provided.
Oh, it will be.
I also didn't know we were supposed to do any homework, so
No, there's no work.
gonna do it just like my PhD and fake that I read what we did.
And in fact, let me talk through the basics since we're streaming now. And if anyone wants to watch this, or
Everyone
in the
can see
future,
us.
everyone can see me completely fail in a game that I just finished writing like an hour ago.
Sweet.
Alrighty.
Sweet. So this
Should have set up
is
my green screen.
I can get my better camera if you
Go
want.
ahead.
Nah, you're great. I'm not picky. So this is Orion. This is a game that is based on another game called Trophy Gold, which is like a straight up fantasy dungeon crawly, get gold and do stuff game. It is about doomed treasure hunters, where it's very like you're not going to make it through one adventure. This one's a little bit less deadly, just so we can have more fun adventure stuff. And now we are frustrated or doomed bounty hunters in a sort of cowboy bebop-ish, Killjoys-ish space world. I haven't written like a lot of setting stuff down. The base assumptions of the setting is like we are in worlds and or colonies somewhere out by Orion Nebula, probably. Earth and the solar system are probably long forgotten, and basically it's just humans, no aliens, but there's robots and stuff.
Robots.
Robots. Or what? Drudges. Drudges are
Yes,
what the androids are called. Super fun.
Drudge bots.
Drudge bots.
Robots.
That is a badass background. So basically, we'll be creating bounty hunters for y'all, or you'll be creating them, and I'll walk you through that. It's pretty simple. Then we'll create a together, and then I'll see if I can actually run an excursion for y'all, which I also just like literally finished slapping together 10 minutes ago. So, woo, all right. So, going through, and if anyone's watching on Twitch, I'll eventually put a link to our thing here. Don't worry about it. So, first thing I'm going to do to create a bounty hunter is if we have our character keeper here, I'll just post it in chat if you don't have it already.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I like character keepers.
Boom. And most of the games, even newer games, I realize they don't reference character keepers in the rules at all, which I find, especially like even ones written in the last year. So this one explicitly says like, "Hey, playing online, right?" So in the character keeper, we'll basically just run down the list here. Put your name and pronouns in there. If you want to pick a bounty hunter name from the list, there's a drop-down list for you. If you want to pick something different, as usual, feel free.
Peter, are you gonna keep your Peter? Do you want to keep your far right position?
Yeah, I was about to start filling in the center, and then I'm like, no, that's her territory.
I wanted to offer center column to you, but I also didn't want to disrupt any.
It's like the
sense
equivalent
of safety.
It's the equivalent of coming down a hall in the office and like maneuvering who passes on. This is the Zoom version of that.
I'm the middle column.
I just wanted purple.
Purple.
It's my favorite color.
So we have Gren, and these are not the final names I'm going to publish in the game because they're mostly bounties from Cowboy Bebop and Killjoys. So Gren is an androgynous saxophone player, I think. Which,
that's redundant,
right? Cowboy
If there's
Bebop
one
is-
thing I know about saxophone players.
I
I was
just
thinking about
rewatched
how
everything,
saxophone
and
is such a queer
it's-
instrument.
Oh.
Sorry,
I
Mark.
just finished rewatching Bebop, and it is still really, really good. But there are some things that do not age well,
Oh yeah.
including the reveal, like, oh my God, that guy has boobs. Yeah, among several other things. Cool. So we have names picked out yet?
I've rolled and I am going with the name that has come up, which is Rhino.
Nice.
How can you roll? Can you roll names?
You can
I-
pick. I think he's just
I also want this random option.
Oh,
Yeah,
This is
there's
so in the document, there's a table. So basically, you roll 2 dice, and there's 36 options.
That's where I got
Oh
my
my
name.
God.
it's
That's
the
how I want
best.
it.
Or
I
just
feel like this
Pick one at
system, like,
random.
yeah, you have created a system catered towards me because I love utter just randomness and rolling dice to see what happens. And this
Yeah,
was great
like-
because I'm like, I don't have to decide anything.
That
Let me
is
be
what-
creative
for
with what I
everything.
get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
is-
love doing.
That's helpful right now. Mark, I'm not understanding where you're trying to point me
Oh, that
for
was
the
my
random.
one.
Oh, here we are. Oh, what's your name? I see. Sorry. I'll be there soon.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Let me roll some
I'm
dice.
gonna roll for my job or my role.
I'm gonna roll 2 dice. Oh, I'm still Jules.
Left
Oops.
column.
Oh, I rolled a 6 and a 6.
Ooh, you're
Oh.
Zephyr.
My name's Zephyr.
Ooh, that's a cool
yeah,
name.
That's totally my name.
It's a bitchin'.
Cool. So next up is picking your role on crew. There are 12 roles available, and you will pick 2 of them. No one should have the same role. So there is a captain
Okay.
role. Captain is not necessary. Captain is one of many things available.
Okay, I'm gonna delete broker because it looks like we already have a broker.
Cool.
No, all brokers.
We'll negotiate our way through the stars.
Yeah, and if you notice the as you pick your roles, the bottom thing down here fills in with skills that you get. So yeah, broker gives you negotiation skills. Weapons guy gives you targeting skills, and so on.
Okay, so
And there's also a
Skills
handy dandy drop down list in the character keeper for that.
Oh, this is sweet.
skills is.
Thank you to whoever made the trophy gold character keeper that I cribbed
Yeah.
strongly from.
What is my roll? Okay, I'm gonna roll some dice.
I like skills is.
I'll
Nice.
get back. 1 second.
So we got Heath with the weapons skills and the broker skills role. We've got Peter with the mule and the intel, like a spy type of dude.
All right, back.
Oh, you have 2. Sorry, I'm slowly comprehending. We have 2 jobs. Yes,
Two-
I'm
two
reading
different
the
roles,
words.
yeah.
We have 2 roles. Okay.
Two rolls.
2 rolls.
Ah,
I can do rolling. I'll be right there. All right, I got mechanic and weapons.
mechanic and weapons. I think Heath already has weapons.
Heath has weapons. I'll get something
Yeah.
different. The weapons. So I'll do mechanic as one of mine. I'll do another one. Oh, same roll.
Although I was really tempted to take the background that I believe I contributed, but I was like, no, I'm going random.
Which one did you contribute?
The
Oh yeah,
blacklisted
the
performer. or whatever.
blacklisted performer.
Oh, that's so good.
I was like, nah, I'm gonna let fate tell me what I am.
Let's see, what was Intel again?
What roles did we get for Zephyr?
Sorry, I'm
That's okay.
trying to get ones that people don't already have. Is there a role that you guys would maybe want me to have? I have rolled mechanic. That seems like something that we might want.
You're Kaylee.
Yeah.
And Kaylee.
Yellow
Mechanic
shot.
and do we need a pilot?
Yeah, we don't have a pilot or a captain or a mechanic.
You know what? I'm gonna drive and fix our ship.
Makes
Nice.
sense. It makes sense for the pilot to know how it works.
And I'll just be there in case we need intelligence on anything.
Just
And
like,
carry stuff around. And then underneath the roles, everyone picks a background and a drive too. So we have an ostracized smuggler and an unsavory fixer. So you can either roll randomly for that or just pick it off the list.
I rolled randomly and got retired gladiator.
Nice.
Which I feel like this random rolling feels really unsavory fixer.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like you both also need some muscle in the gladiator.
And you can just grab that from the pull down too.
Yeah. I'm getting the hang of it. All right.
Yeah.
Now to drive.
Yeah. And so the drive is basically the reason you turned to a high risk, high reward profession. And they're sort of intentionally vague and mention things that don't know what they are. So like Heath's Gren's is discover the cure for Dolia syndrome. And we can build out your background based on that. Rhino has organized the workers at Tunku Harmonics. Also don't know what that is yet, and we'll play to find out.
All right.
I figured that was probably the case.
I rolled a 2 and a 5, so I get equip the passive resistance.
Nice. Cool. So next up, we're gonna roll or choose from the equipment list, and that's on the in the document. And basically, there are sets of 3 equipment that you will grab and copy paste into the top 3 slots on your loadout here. I think if you shift paste from that table, it'll put it in separate cells. So.
Oh, interesting. I just old school typed it.
That'll work too. You got the countdown timer, flappy hat, and a trench shovel.
Ah,
Yeah.
I was eyeing that one. That's not what I rolled. Let's see what I rolled. Oh, I'm gonna re-roll.
And so basically the way that your loadout or equipment works, you have 6 slots, 3 of which you get at the beginning, and then the other 3 are available slots. So there's a list in the rules near the front where it's talking about characters that has additional equipment. And basically at any time, if you have a free slot, you can be like, oh, I need binoculars, and pull out binoculars from your bag, and then you have binoculars in that slot. So you have a like 3 set and then 3 flexi slots.
Oh, so those aren't slots that like you fill with other items specifically later. Like now I have binoculars permanently. It's just like,
oh no, you
whatever
fill them.
works for the story or whatever.
Yeah, so if you like pull binoculars out, that means like, oh yeah, I had binoculars. So
and
cool.
Now they're in that slot.
And now that's your thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then when like we were not going to get to it tonight, clearly, but like when we go back to quote town or space station, we can
Space town.
fill stuff off or do whatever.
Okay, I'm not doing random on this one because I want that hedgehog.
The Rhino's got the blown glass penguin, the Book of Morality, and a titanium crowbar.
I can make it work.
Yeah, you're the lady from Misery. Got it. Super glue and accelerant, featureless cloth mask, hedgehog. Awesome. And then you can pick 1 or more pieces of combat equipment. There's not a list for these. You can just make up what feels right for you. Every piece of equipment, offense or defense, that you pick will increase your burdens, which start at 1. And the way that works is after every job, if you go back to a space station to turn stuff in, you have to bring back enough money to pay off your burdens, or else you get a bounty put on you. So it's a trade-off again. Like, do I want to get like 3 shotguns and a force field, or not, or just
two
go
2 turntables and a microphone,
go butt naked and not have to pay out?
More hedgehogs.
Let's see.
I know that this is where I don't know.
I would get a defense hedgehog, an offense hedgehog.
So I mean, I do have 2 pieces of tech. One of
Yeah, so
which
if you're
is
just like tech guy,
discharges
then
a searing bolt of biokinetic energy.
Ooh, yeah.
But then again, there's
Nice.
risks to using those.
yeah, spells.
Question.
Yes.
So when you pick your combat equipment,
Mhm.
is that permanent, or could you later go, screw that, man, I'm ditching my rifle and having less burden?
So yeah, later on, if you want to like get rid of a rifle or something, I don't see any reason that you couldn't. You would do that. You would have to pay off the rifle that you took, but then if you want to ditch it, you wouldn't have to pay it off next time. Does that make sense?
So yeah, I'm basically thinking if you decide your burden's too high
Yeah.
and you want to lighten your burden and go like, I'm gonna go naked next time.
Yeah. So you can't like load up on stuff, go on it, and then get rid of it.
Just throw it into space.
Yep. I lost all my shit. Great. You're gonna pay for all that shit. Great.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try. I feel like I might regret this, but hey, it's all an experiment, right?
Let's
So
do things we're gonna regret.
We're gonna throw my
Yeah.
burden up to 3, so I can have 1 piece of defense and 1 piece of offense. Something. or other.
Nice.
Nice. I used to be a gladiator, so I imagine I'm good with like clobbering type things.
Yeah. Get some.
Or maybe I was good with like little stabbies. Probably something handheld. Ooh, Rhino has a bat.
I think
So he has sonar.
My defense, I will have a personal force
See,
shield.
that's why I put the emoji there.
Yeah.
A bat ball.
Let's see, what do I want for my offensive something or other?
I feel like I need some defense too. Yeah, I'm tempted to do what Heath did and just have 1 of each and
Yeah, that's what I'm.
figure out what that means later. I think
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think I fight with a trident.
Nice.
Nice. From
Signature
Anchorman.
weapon.
Yeah.
Killed a man with a trident.
Escalated quickly.
And I think I have
Rhino's got a trench coat with non-Newtonian lining. I love it.
I think I want some kind of weird chainmail.
Oh, and I put those
Ooh,
check boxes in the wrong place. So basically, with your defense stuff, you can during combat, which we'll
right.
get into when we get it. Basically, you will take damage to your burn. You can check off one of your pieces of defense to not take any damage to your burn that round. So you can take
solar trident.
If you take 3 burn, you can check off your trench coat and not take any damage. And then you can refresh that again when you go back to port and pay off all your stuff.
Get fresh lining.
A Hydra does a Hydra have 3 heads? Is that right?
Man, just so many heads. Well, just a lot of heads.
Just how much time have you got?
Yeah, it depends on what you've done to it.
Because I was basically thinking my weapon's going to be like a lightsaber, but of like a multi-threaded whip. So like
it's
a
got
laser
a
Hydra whip.
It's got a
9.
slider on it that you can adjust the number of tails up and
Oh,
down.
nice.
That makes sense.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
What's the word for like Black Panther's outfit? It like absorbs energy and
Like a
stores it.
Kinetic absorption.
Kinetic absorption. Yeah, I'm gonna
something.
have kinetic absorption chainmail. There we are.
Nice.
Inertial nullifier.
Yeah, there we are. That's a better word. Inertial nullifier chainmail. Using that techno babble speak blog post that Peter wrote.
Laser
Nice.
Hydra whip is also one of my favorent desserts.
Laser Hydra whip. Mm.
Delicious. Non-dairy.
Too sweet. Too sweet for me.
So many chemicals.
And then underneath here, there's a place for found items. If you pick up stuff along the way, that's where that'll go, and it doesn't count against your slots. If you like pick up a laser golf club during the thing and you want to use it as your weapon next time along, you'll put that in your combat equipment.
So like if I dropped my trident
Yeah.
and Heath picked it up.
Yeah. You would pay the burden for this one. He would have it available next time.
And then I'd be like, you owe me.
So that means so all 3 of us would be starting with a 3 burden instead of a
Yep.
1, correct?
That's fair. Yeah.
Because we each took 2 combat thingies, right?
Let me adjust the bounty for this mission. That's a nice number. Great. Yeah. Good.
So yeah, I've raised my burn for my tech. I've raised my burdens for my equipment.
Cool. And then next up is your biotech. These are your spells, basically. The list is in the document. You can take up to 3 pieces of biotech. Those are yours forever. And every one you take bumps up your starting / minimum burn by 1. So if you want to load up with 3 pieces of sweet biotech, your minimum / starting burn is 4. You can never go below that without extreme circumstances. Which circumstances. Like I said, you're a wizard, so you got some sweet spells, but you're pretty dainty. Or you can take none.
Is burn like in masks where you have to charge up?
Oh no, yeah, sorry. So burn is basically burn is basically like the toll the world has taken on you. So it can either be physical damage, emotional drain, or whatever.
It's your hit points, kind of.
It's basically hit points. If you go above 6 burn, or I think if you reach 6 burn, you are out of the game. Your bounty hunter retires or dies or walks away.
Goes on
you
vacation.
can bring burn down in a couple ways, recreational mostly. But yeah, it's good not to have burn, but it's also good to have cyber wizard shit. So
spells.
Yeah, spells are also good.
It'd be a real interesting game. It's like, episode 1, Grin dies.
And then we just spend the rest of the time referencing stories about Gren. If Gren were here.
You know what?
That is part of the game. Yep.
Oh man, these are good spells. I want them all.
I just wrote them this afternoon. I'm really proud of the computer type names I got for them.
Yes, I have Phantasm.
Air _ trap.
So I have embedded projectors create realistic illusions nearby, and I also have plasma, where I can discharge a searing bolt of biokinetic energy.
Nice.
Oh, there's another page of them here. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we'll go into mechanics soon, but basically there's a risk roll. So basically anytime you do something risky, we'll put together some dice and roll them. When you use your biotech to help that risk roll, you will always add a die, but it'll be a die that has a chance to raise your burn. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad.
I am not precious about these, Peter. If you see
Yeah,
some spell I got that you want.
I just rolled mine at random.
Dragon feels like the one that this character should have, but I may roll and see what I come up with.
Yeah, I looked at it, but I also saw tardigrade and was like,
Yeah.
I'm not
called tardigrade. So.
I'm gonna take that one.
And kind of like the other stuff, there's augments underneath. So later on, you can buy new pieces of biotech.
Oh man, they're gonna keep me in this game.
I rolled the dice and got dragon.
Nice.
It's meant to be. I want
prophets have spoken.
I didn't. So the skills. So everyone has 4 skills up top. You get 2 skills from your rolls and 2 skills from your background. So your smuggler gets hiding in underworld. Your gladiator gets athletics and strength. Your fixer gets appraisal and contacts. And basically, those are things that you will also use to add dice to rolls at any time. And then underneath that, there's training, which means when you go to space station, you can find someone to train you in a skill that you don't have, and it'll add to your burdens, but you get new shit.
So if our burn goes up to 6, we lose?
Correct.
Or lose the character? And everybody's burn is 5 right now?
Is everyone's burn 5 right now?
Everyone should be 3.
Burn or burdens? Oh, that's a thing I need to make sure we can. So
yeah, it's hard to hear the difference.
Yeah. Good note.
Burn starts at 1.
Yeah,
and
burn
goes
starts
up
at
1 for each combat equipment you take.
Burn goes up. BURN goes up
yeah.
for each piece of tech you have. Yeah. Burden goes up.
Oh, okay.
1. Yeah.
Oh, so we'll just edit these. I understand. Let's see.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So I should be.
Both mine are 3s.
So I think everyone's starting at 3-3. Is that right? Or 3-2?
3-2. I don't think I want a second spell right now.
Yeah, I just looked at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and somehow assumed that that corresponded to.
Yeah, so that's for bounty later on. So if you
Yeah, that
can't
was.
pay your burdens, then you get a bounty on you, and this is a ticker to see how bad your bounty collection situation is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Will we have the ability to add biotech later in the game, or?
Yes, you will. That's
I
what
feel
the
like I want
augments under that is. And when you add biotech later on, I think it only adds to your burdens. So it doesn't add to your
That's
burn.
right. Yeah, I remember noticing that in the rules. That was interesting. If you pick it up front, it ups your burn. If you
Yeah,
add it later, it ups your burden.
yeah.
And so with training, you said like later on, if we come back from an adventure, go to space station, get trained, that bumps our burden up as well.
Correct. Yes.
And that's permanently. Like so from
Yeah.
that point forward, my burden would be 4.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of reverse, like D&D. Like basically, it's you have every time you go out, if you keep improving your character, you need to bring back more gold.
Oh.
I know, and there's a lot of cool stuff to spend
Yeah.
your filthy lucre on.
You named the shop very appealing.
And
I was like
I'm gonna
looking at the
add,
cabin upgrades and stuff. I was like, ooh, that sounds
Yeah.
cool.
and there's more stuff
I'm
later.
gonna
I was like, pick your favorite place to go to. Oh, you get free, free food here, and you get your stuff filled up. Or you can bring trophies back to the place that you rent down on the station. Like you can use that to make your burn better, or whatever. So that's next steps after getting the basic stuff locked down. Yeah, and then down under the augments, there's a stash section. Basically, anytime you go back to port, you can put credits that you bring back into your stash. If you get 50 stash, you get to retire and fulfill your drive. The whole reason that you're doing all this stuff. As unlikely that anyone will ever fulfill their drive, but it's
What
something
is-
to aspire to.
What is the checkbox underneath hunt next to bounty?
So that is for bounty. I just crammed that in there. So if you if you go back and you can't pay your burdens altogether, you check your bounty and we'll roll a die and you'll check off one of these numbers. And then basically anytime you can instead of taking burn, you can check off or roll for another bounty die there.
Yeah.
If you roll one that hasn't been checked off, like it gets worse. If you roll that has checked off, then during that scene sometime, you're like, that's when the other bounty hunters come after you and make things way
Boba Fett
worse for
finds you.
everyone. Yeah. Like, cool, we've almost got the guy. Oh no, now the guys that are after us are here too. Oh boy. Yeah.
So the checkbox is merely indicating that you have a bounty on you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of like working with the columns that I had there. I need to.
I was just trying to
redesign
figure
a
out.
little bit.
So there's not
super
a
clear.
particular way to indicate your bounty numbers integrated in
yeah.
the sheet.
I think it'll be just like changing the background color.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. And I think that's it for everyone's characters. Everyone feel good about what they've got?
I think so.
Got some
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna die real quick anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
what a
Gred.
glass penguin, but we'll find out.
Look, I've got
yeah, and I
Dolia
feel like-
syndrome. So
once you get it down, like you can generate a character more or less randomly in like a minute. So dying is not a huge deal. Until
no,
you
I mean
get-
it's kind of cool.
yeah, until you get attached, then it's cool. So the ship thing is brand new. It's not part of the game that I'm basing this off of. Basically, you will make a ship together as well. That's on the next tab there.
Yeah.
And it is less well documented, I think, in the doc, but it is still there. First, who owns the ship?
Not it.
I'm just gonna keep making slurping noises. I mean, I feel like it would probably be Zephyr if she's the mechanic and the pilot. Then
I
she-
think so. I was trying to figure out like if there would be a fun way that if it wasn't my ship, someone could always.
I mean,
be
it could
tel-
very well be. It could be like if it's one of ours, but we don't know crap about maintaining it, and we had to hire you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got this cool ship.
The more straightforward way is that like I used to be a gladiator and I got a ship somehow.
Maybe that was maybe that
Big
was your biggest
prize.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say it was a big prize for something.
That's you a ship for defeating.
Or maybe the
Defeating
mob guys gave you a ship to throw a match, and that's why you're not doing it anymore. Something
Oh,
like that.
many options.
Many options. So after we decide whose it is, they will pick a name for the ship.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
Seems
could
like it
be.
makes the
either-
most sense to be Zephyr's.
It could be
Yeah.
mine. Yeah, it seems like I'm also I'm trying to help equip a resistance, so I've got some kind of rebellion thing going on.
We're the rebel, yeah.
Oh.
So you can again roll or pick. a
Oh
name.
yeah, let me roll to name the ship. Otherwise, it will be here the whole time with me weighing name. That rolling for names is very helpful because otherwise
Yeah.
I'll sit there and
Yeah, that's like me. Anytime I start like a new video game, I can just count that the first hour or so is going to be character creation.
Yep.
That's just how that's going to work.
all right. I'm not gonna roll because I saw there's a ship named Hokum. We're gonna call our ship Hokum.
It's the Hokum.
It's the Hokum.
Cool. And so there
Do we have a
also-
shuttle called the Flim Flam?
we could.
We do.
That you definitely put that in there. So
Alright.
yeah, and so if you want to put in that you got it from your gladiator career somehow, that's awesome. If not, there's a D6 table. You can get it from a police auction. You inherited it, run it gambling. You salvaged it from somewhere. Someone gave it to you instead of paying you, or the captain who owned the ship before died, and you were the only one left. So you kind of got it by default.
Got it in a blind storage unit auction.
Yep.
Let's see. I rolled a 4. So let's
Cool.
say it was abandoned, and like when I was escaping my gladiator life, I used it as a getaway vehicle.
Nice.
How
Cool.
convenient.
And then this is the part like I'm not super happy with finding
Party
what kind of-
barge.
what kind of ship was it? It was a party barge. Yeah.
Yes. I haven't read any of the other options.
I kind of like the notion that it wasn't so much abandoned as abandoned. Like somebody
Yeah.
took the party barge to the gladiator games and left it there long enough for.
It was parked there, and I ran out of the gladiator arena and just took
Nice.
it.
They all got too drunk and could not remember where they parked it. That's why it was abandoned. Like, man, where do we park the party barge?
Yeah, they were-
Fuck the barge.
There were still like a few passed out people on it.
I thought it was in the blue level dock, but I've looked everywhere, man.
Great. So now you can pick or roll for 3 strengths, 3 weaknesses. These are real sloppy lists, and they're not final. But if there's anything that looks fun, take it.
Well, the party barge has a recreation deck. Right?
Yeah,
Of course it
let's definitely give it a recreation deck. We're not peasants. It's like I imagine it's like a cruise ship. It's like a fucking great cruise ship,
like a
terrible
yacht.
bounty ship.
So
Yeah.
Spacious is also on there then?
Yeah.
Spacious.
I mean-
Yeah.
I'm not married to that, but
Recreation. Yeah, I imagine it's like really spacious, but not like super.
not like well suited to the task.
It's not well suited, but it's like very luxurious. Let's see, overburdening sitting duck.
It has built-in laser hydro whip machines. I love that.
I feel like it's easily detectable as a disadvantage because it has like
Yeah.
party
It's got the-
lights.
Oh,
And
totally. And a massive subwoofer.
it
Which
took
is
me
somehow
like,
audible through space.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
and you can accidentally hit that button so easily.
I was just thinking,
it-
I was saying, great, that's not audible in space, but as soon as you get an atmosphere, it starts thumping.
It just broadcasts on all channels. So
Yeah, I figured that somehow it's not an audio transmission, but it's set up so that if you're in the vicinity, space or whatever, you can hear the thumping bass from it.
it's got a non-diegetic sound button on it.
So Mark, do we need to do 3 for each?
Yeah, 3 for each.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
I still
Oh,
need to
nice.
pick another strength, and I was thinking another disadvantage, and please tell me if this is too much crew members, but I think it doesn't have weapons.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that one of your goals is to equip the resistance. So because you don't
Yeah.
have you're like
Don't have any.
you're hoping to maybe get some weapons on this ship to help the resistance out at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, party barges wouldn't have weapons, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
imagine they would have anything beyond.
Those weapons take up valuable keg space.
That's true.
Unarmed. Yeah, that's the unarmed. It's spacious. It's got a recreate. Spacious.
I just love
reputation.
I just love that. I feel like all the advantages and disadvantages are pretty much disadvantages, but I love that because it's a party barge. Like, not the best ship for bounty hunters, but it's what we got.
What if Firefly but the love boat?
I think that's what we're writing. It's easily detectable.
Party fly.
Fireboat.
we need
Should we make it lucky
That's what I was thinking too.
just to give it a chance? Like, I feel like it's like
that's
gotta have
great. I love
something.
that.
And just from a story perspective, I love how obnoxious it is to have this boat not designed for combat in any way, somehow scraping through. How did we get blown up by a ship with no weapons?
I love the hokum.
the hokum, and then we need one more
Disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Oh,
And again, these are not super well thought out yet, or how
Any
they'll
one
apply.
of these makes sense.
Basically, I figure like if we're
I'm
doing
gonna roll and
rolls
just see
that
what-
involve a ship, we'll use these.
What's an
plus or minus.
11? I rolled an 11. What's that?
Horrible,
Horrible
circuitry.
circuitry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, all of these would make sense, I think, for it.
Yeah, anyone. I imagine that it's like it's a little bit over.
Too many party lights.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
too many
like
lights.
over-engineered.
Yeah, over-engineered to like have like because of all the like pinball machines and
Yeah, I mean, all the like lights and sound equipment definitely like overburden the batteries and fuses and circuitry. It was not made
Sweet.
to power that much.
And right now, you don't need to choose anything else for the ship. I need to add like the systems section there, but that's if you get in a fight, those get damaged. So we're not doing that yet. Fuel, basically, when you travel, you'll spend 1 fuel, and then you have to spend money to refuel at station. We're keeping track of food, and so every session, basically, we spend 1 food per bounty hunter, or else you take the hungry condition, which is fun. So part of it is stocking up on food, because bounty hunting is hungry business. And I think that is it for making stuff go. Pay to do stuff, pay to burdens. Good combat rules, Mark. In combat, advantages are damage first, then systems, then you're fucked. Good rules. Cool. I think that is everything for making up your characters and whatnot. Any questions before we start running with
Well, the
it?
good thing is we have the game designer here. So
Yeah.
none of this,
Questions come up, yeah.
none of this, like when we were playing Pandemic, and we gotta go. But how does this work? Go look up and see if there's rules for this.
But
'Cause
don't
this
get any
is-
spoilers for the next month.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you know, when we change the rules, I can just write them in the document and it's official. Cool. So basically every adventure or whatever you go on, it's called an excursion. You will get a bounty with a bunch of things attached to it and start off on the bounty. Basically, you'll try to find out each excursion is broken into what is called sets, SETS, and basically each set is basically a short act of the story. Each set has a goal, and those goals, I will tell you, even if it's something that your bounty hunter might not know. So like one of the ones from Trophy Gold is like, oh, you go into this dungeon, whatever, and the set goal is like, reveal the demon, blah blah blah, and like we don't know anything about demon yet. Like you will. So that's like
You
stuff that you
will.
know, but not necessarily characters. And I have written the first 1.5 sets for this excursion. So that's it. I'll like super briefly go over mechanics. There's like 3 main times we're going to roll. One is a hunt roll, or basically you're exploring or researching or tracking someone, you'll basically get 1 or 2 dice to roll that. High is good. You'll take the highest die and either get hunt tokens or something bad happens. Probably something bad happens. So you can always trade in a hunt token to find some loot worth 1 credit, or you can spend 3 hunt tokens to instantly find the goal of the set. So you can just resolve it straight off, and we'll.
Just a quick aside, Mark.
Yeah.
I know for sure that I will need to learn these things by doing them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I appreciate you telling them to me. I just do not want any expectation that I'm.
No. There is none.
Cool, got it. All right, I'll
Yeah.
keep listening.
Yeah, just want to like put stuff up front so it's not like, oh, surprise, you're fucked now. So yeah, hunt roll, get tokens, spend tokens for stuff, and I'll underline that when you get there. There are also combat rolls. Basically, combat is very dangerous. Enemies have an endurance between 2 and 12. 1 or more people will fight. Everyone gets a die. You'll roll that number of die. You'll roll a die to find what your weak point is for the combat. So say Heath is fighting a guy, he rolls a 4. Then we'll roll another set of dice, 1 for each person fighting on your side. If the top 2 dice are equal or exceed the endurance, you win the fight. If any of the dice show up as your weak point, you take burn. So yeah, that's bad. There's that. And if you beat someone, you can roll a bunch of dice to see if you can basically loot the body for cool stuff for credit. And then there's a lot of, it's a sort of catch-all roll is the risk roll. Basically, anytime you do something that we deem risky, you'll roll 1 die if you have a skill or equipment that you can use. Then we can offer a call of the void, which will give you another light die, which is basically something bad or complication that will happen whether or not you succeed. And then you roll dice. Oh, and you can also add a dark die if you are willing to risk your mind or body in order to succeed. You have to include that die if you're using a piece of biotech in the process of the roll. Take the highest one. High is good, low is bad. If you use the dark die in your roll and it is higher than, if it's the highest die and it's over your current burn, you get another piece of burn. And if you fail and you want to re-roll, you can always add another dark die and roll again,
and risk more burn.
And that's basically it. So yeah, the call of the void is in a risk roll, you get an extra die if you accept some bad thing.
Bounty hunting ain't for the meek.
Nope, it ain't. And yeah, then onto the GM section. Oh no, how do I run this game? Let's find out. Cool. Any questions over that? We'll go over that all as we run it.
So many,
Okay.
but I'll probably learn them by play.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
think I'm the same as Nicole. Like, I feel like anytime I'm learning games, like rules just sound like a bunch of gobbledygook till you encounter them in the game. And you're like, oh, okay, here's that thing. And here's how we do it.
It all
Got
fits
it.
together.
It's how I learned to code or do anything.
Yeah. Cool. So I just wrote this an hour ago, the first couple bits. This excursion is called Spare Parts. It has a theme of immortality, inspired by whoever said Evergreen on Facebook. Congratulations. And I'm going to paste the bounty info in the chat. I don't know how useful that's going to be because it's in a spreadsheet, but computer screen. The bounty is for a Thomas Fenson. His alias is Trix. 170 centimeters, 74 kilograms, 87 years old, and he lives on Phoebus City in Valparaiso 4. He's wanted for credit fraud,
7
non-renewal,
cents.
and armed robbery, and there's 2 slashes, so that's
Credits.
Well, this should be easy. 87-year-old guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake.
So
We'll
They want him
flash.
dead or alive.
We'll flash back to Gren saying that once we meet him.
I named the so you get bounties over whatever network or whatever. The SBAN, which is like the super
Super Bowl.
badass something name. I don't remember. So
Space
SBAN
Bounties Anonymous Network.
Yeah.
Super
Uh,
butts.
So you get stuff through them.
A.
SNORES.
Super butts are nice.
Butts. Let's see. Trix
Space butts.
is an awakened person, which means he was
yeah.
in cryosleep for a while and was revived and owed a lot of money. Trix could
So-
not pay his. Go ahead.
Is it 87 years since Thomas Fenton was born, or
Yes.
has he been out of cryosleep and out in the world for 87 years?
He's only been out of cryosleep for 2 or 3 years.
Okay, and before
but
that, he spent
Yeah, so
some
he's
number of years. But...
apparently in his mid-20s, probably.
Thank you.
Ah.
Sorry, that was a really
Yeah.
roundabout way.
That's
Oh,
to answer that
deceptive.
question.
I don't think cryo years should count in your age.
Take it up with SBAN.
Bullshit.
We'll have debates about that the whole time.
He lived in Valparaiso for a while, tried to run scams here and there to try and scrape up money, but eventually got busted for armed robbery holding up a chop shop, and he up and disappeared. Now he's got the cops on his tail, as well as the collectors for the freezers, and there's some other like unsavory but loan shark types after him as well. Better find him and bring him in before they get to him. Remember, if your bounty is not alive when you turn them over, you don't get paid. All bounties must be brought in alive.
What?
Not in money.
What?
I think Rhino always sighs dispiritedly when he hears that boilerplate.
All bounties must be alive. What is isn't there like a dead bounty network we can join?
No, that's called Hitmen.
No,
That'll be great with our
to
cruise
kill
ship.
somebody.
Different game.
Lethal
Oh,
bounties.
Hitman.
It's different.
Lethal bounties. Great. So you are going to start off coming into port at Valparaiso City. It takes 1 fuel to get there, so I'll check that off for your ship. Boom.
Oh, we're already in debt. This sucks.
Already
We're doomed.
behind.
We're doomed.
We
You're
got a
10
sweet
credits
party
into it.
boat. Have no fear.
Boys.
We'll party away our fear.
This
our
party
worries.
barge does not get the greatest parsecs per gallon.
This was the only one I could hotwire at the time. All the other ones were also party barges.
I think Rhino relaxes just by sitting glumly in one of the party decks with like lights and music around him while he's just like glaring into the middle distance with a drink.
Nice.
I mean, couldn't you at least get a party barge that was like partially solar powered, decrease our expenses?
Oh, suns are far away, man.
Son of a-
Solar power's not super great in space.
I don't know, I feel like the whole universe is working against us.
It just doesn't care. Let's see, where are we? So before you land, put in at what would I call it, Phoebus City? Before you put in at Phoebus City, does anyone have anyone from their background that they'd like to use to do some recon?
Do some recon?
Yeah. Any connections? Anyone who might give you leads?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of leads. Thing is, it's whether or not they still hold grudges against me or not.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
There's a reason I was an ostracized smuggler.
I feel like Rhino's intel probably plays into this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can we say that Rhino has connections with the labor movement?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like Tunku is the Amazon of Phoebus, of the whole planet. It's like a massive corporate entity that's taken over most of the economy of the planet.
Yeah, probably system wide, probably.
Yeah. And there are a few rebels trying to organize the workers there. And I want to say that that Rhino knows like a hacker type who can get into government, who has a specialization in getting into government systems and records.
Nice. What's their name?
Okay. Where's the name sheet again? because I have no creativity right now.
Yeah, I'll definitely need to
I
make
know.
up
Needs
a
a
larger
random.
name
Okay,
generator.
their name is Twinkle.
Twinkle the
it is.
hacker.
I just like Rhino being good friends with Twinkle.
Great. So you're going to contact them to find out if they know anything about this dude on Phoebus.
Tricks.
Cool. So how you're just contacting them, calling them up?
I think, let's say that Twinkle is very, very paranoid about conducting any electronic messaging on Phoebus.
As well, he should be.
And so there's just a code word of some sort, and we meet in a safe house that Twinkle has. I
Nice
feel
on
like
Phoebus.
Twinkle's probably non-binary. So
Cool.
they have a safe house that's just like the, what is it, enemy of the state thing, where there's this like giant Faraday cage
Yeah.
with like multiple levels of entries.
Awesome. One thing I didn't put in the ship stuff, I think I'm assuming that everyone has kind of like a personal craft they can use to enter atmosphere or something. Do you want to take that down by yourself to meet them?
Jetsam.
Because they might not want to meet the whole
flip
crew
that.
at
I think
once.
that's absolutely the rule.
There's Flim and Flam.
Flim and Flam.
Flim and Flam. Cool. Yeah. So this is going to be a hunt roll. Start off. So
All right.
we're going to start off with 1 die. Do you have a skill or piece of gear that would make the information gathering easier?
I believe contacts is maybe the one here.
Contacts is definitely the one. Great.
Okay.
So we'll just roll 2 dice and see what we get.
Light dice or dark dice?
Light dice.
Okay.
Hey, poops.
I don't know why that matters to me so much. A 1 and a 4.
Cool. A 1 and a 4. So your high die is a 4. So you will get 1 hunt token for that.
Oh, okay. I gotta
mark it on your
thing.
Hi, die.
It is under hunt on the bounty hunter sheet.
Why am I not seeing this?
This one here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I eventually find things. There we go.
Cool.
1 hunt.
Yeah. So so you take 1 token, but you encounter something terrible. And
of course.
so yeah, so you arrange to so describe what the outside of their house or their safe house looks like.
It is in the middle of the desert. You can see just wind and dust blowing past. The weather is kind of in the perennial trapped between day and night gray. The outside of the house is designed to look like it's disguised as a sort of mound shape that is characteristic. That's like a dwelling of the indigenous people in the area. There are only a few indications if you look closely, like you can see an occasional or like there's an antenna sticking out at some point. A few signs that it's not what it seems.
Yeah.
And there's a hidden, not a hidden key, but a hidden like place where you can plant your hand that will do a scan and open up a door just enough for Rhino to kind of wedge his way through.
Yeah, in fact, the door is already open when you get there.
Oh, okay. And so, yeah, Rhino does not like the looks of that. He has the bat with him. So,
yeah. And
I imagine he has a little holder for the bat somehow in his coat. And so he sort of lifts it out.
It's like one of those like one of those little like cut off bats. It's like real heavy on one end.
Oh, yeah. He just kind of taps it on the ground a bit. That's the way of it.
So there's a little, it kind of twists and turns. There's like a very small entryway that kind of goes back and forth so as not to provide a straight line of fire. But that doesn't seem to have done any good because Twinkle is sort of slumped in their chair in front of an array of screens and
okay, well, I hope they're all right.
They're not all right. They are not, they do not move. They are unfortunately deceased. And
I see.
While they are sitting in front of their screens, and you notice that one of the screens is still open to the communication channel that you used to contact them.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
You're welcome, guys.
That's our
cool.
rhino.
What are folks doing up on the Hogan? Or you can pop back up there and be like, cool, let's go down.
Or Rhino can pop back up, or what?
Yeah, that can be just like, that's the scene. Okay, cool. Let's.
Oh yeah.
Or you can go.
No, I like the idea of like
Yeah.
the situational irony of having everybody else on the ship for a while until I get back.
Cool.
Yeah, I imagine we're just like passing time on the recreation stuff.
Talking about what an easy job this is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, super easy. Just some.
What are you gonna do, Grid? What are you gonna do with the bounty?
You know, I got these doctors that are helping me out trying to cure my Dolia syndrome. So, but the thing is, I kind of do it on the side. It's not their main gig, so I don't really work on it unless I funnel them a little, extra scratch.
Little gimme.
You're not gonna use any of it for any fun stuff.
Well,
You're always talking about
I'm sure I will because, gotta live for today as well.
Life is short.
It is.
Yours might be shorter.
So I don't want to just sacrifice my now purely for a theoretical future.
Exactly.
I gotta make my now comfortable as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been eyeing some of those pretty sweet, more comfy cabins. I was like, thinking maybe I could fix my room here on the ship up a little better.
I kind of like the notion that his cabin is already very comfortable.
I also like the notion that there are multiple cabins, and he isn't in one of the nice ones right now because he doesn't feel like he deserves it. We've camped out in, like, the best cabins we could find, and Grant is like, one day I will earn.
I think I'm in like one of those, like the equivalent of when you're on a bus and there's like two bunks built into the side.
God.
Yeah.
And like I got the top bunk. I don't even take up both bunks. Like the top bunk is mine. There's nobody in the bottom bunk, but it's not mine.
He's like on the steerage of the party barge.
But I've got my top bunk fixed up pretty nice. I bought a really nice space blanket back at the station last time we were there.
Shiny space blanket.
Yeah.
Are Zephyr and Gren just hang out on the ship until Rhino gets back, or are you going to go down and sort of meet him down there?
Yeah, we're just chilling.
Cool. I
it's
imagine
a party barge.
Rhino comes back before too long with the bad news.
Yeah, I'm thinking Rhino just communicates from the flam that get the engines running. Why? Get the engines running.
All right. I don't tend to ask Rhino too many questions, because if you ask Rhino too many details, you'll get the details and they're often real gross.
Oh, God.
So I'll go ahead and start her up. It takes a little bit of time to get her started.
So Rhino didn't get any helpful information to the current cause at hand. Is that correct?
Well, he got some information. So he has that hunt token, which can be used later on to finish up the set, or can
those
be
things are valuable, man.
Traded in for a credit or something worth a credit. Maybe you found something there that's like, oh, I can.
Well, look, I mean,
your call.
I could hit up some of my smuggling buddies. I'm pretty sure that enough time has passed that, bygones are bygones.
Yeah.
Probably. Cool. How are you going to contact them? Or who you're going to contact?
Well, I figure I knew a few buddies that I did some smuggling runs with to the planet where what's his face Trix initially was and escaped from.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably trying to stay on the down low. So he probably want to book some passage on the down low, not like public.
Yeah.
So he might have hired a smuggler type to ferry him somewhere. So so
cool.
I got hold on, I'm also going to use our handy dandy sheet because it's there. So why not?
Yeah. So you get one die for doing it, and then one die probably for underworld.
I think this might be the point where Rhino kind of stomps in and just expresses very telegraphically what happened. Like, Twinkle's dead. Whoever kills him knows he was helping, or they were helping us. We gotta
Oh,
go.
Oh,
And then
no.
stomps back to the party deck to unwind.
I figured it was gonna be something real bad.
First, I'm finding out. Let me see who I'm contacting. Let's see, 3 and 4. Is that a thing? Contacting. I'm contacting my old pal Lucy.
Lucy.
Oh,
So have we
Smuggler.
worked out what piece of information I got from that?
No, I mean the piece of information you got is that someone knows that a bounty
Okay,
is
okay,
that you're coming down there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Lucy.
Hunt tokens aren't specifically tied to like particular pieces of information. They're kind of more of an abstract currency that may or may not be used for that. Lucy, yeah, what's
I feel
going
like
on?
she's one of the more forgiving people I knew there.
Yeah, so let's roll 2 dice and see what we get.
I got a total. I got a 6 and a 4. Total.
Oh, awesome! Take a hunt token. No bad things.
Yeah.
I
Lu-
like it when no bad things happen.
I always
Lucy
knew Lucy had a
opens
little
up
thing for me.
The channel, and like as soon as she sees it's you, she's like, "Gran, where have you been hiding yourself?"
Well, you know I can't tell you that.
You know, I can't tell you either.
Of course not. I would expect no less from you, Luz. Hey, we're on a trail of a guy. I was hoping maybe you might. I thought he might have tried to ferry some transport on the down low, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Give me his name. I'll float it.
He's known colloquially around the streets as Tricks. You ever heard of him?
Tricks.
Yeah.
That all just tricks. Put it through there.
Thomas Fenson is his Christian name, as they say.
Thomas Tricks Fenson. Yeah. He's got. Let me see. He's got an apartment down there in the Phoebus City, and he is late on his rent. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
He just kind of up and disappeared. But he was around there, so I can't imagine he got far. I don't see anything on the manifest of anyone for Tricks. So if he's down there, he's probably still down there, I'd reckon.
All right. So, as far as you can tell, at least he might not have got off planet yet, huh?
Yeah.
That gives us a place to start, Luce. Appreciate
All right.
it. So anything I
Here's
can
his,
ever do from you?
Here's his home address. Boop.
Oh, you the lady, Luce.
You're the man, I think, right? Yeah.
I am the
Yes,
man.
you are. Yes, you are. All right. Well, holler if you need anything. I will keep a candle burning for you.
Same back at you, Luce.
See out.
Hey, well, I got a starting place for us.
Looks like we can go maybe check out his house.
Yeah.
Like a good place to start.
If he has a pool, we can hang out,
The
do a few laps. I imagine that Zephyr really loves because had been in bondage as gladiator and got freed and now seeks out every opportunity just to be a hedonism.
It's
the party barge.
I'm down with that for sure. I don't know how Rhino feels, but I'm always.
I've never seen Rhino touch water.
Any excuse to luxuriate, I am down with.
Oh yeah, Rhino is the one that's uncomfortable with any form of comfort.
Yeah. That was my question. When the Hokum lands down by the city that I said, Valparaiso or Phoebus City on Valparaiso, what does it look like when that ship lands? Does it does it splash down in the water, and is it an actual barge when it gets down there? Does it have to dock in a one of the tunnel things for an airport? What does that look like? Probably Zephyr knows the best. Their ship.
Yeah, when the Hokum comes for a landing, we have to slow it down really far ahead of time. And I never really figured out how it lands, so we just try our best to slow it down as much as possible. So it usually ends up kind of smushing a little at the end. Just
bunks into the
and then usually bunks into something.
Retaining wall at the spaceport.
It's probably designed to only be compatible with landing platforms that are proprietary.
Yeah, it's proprietary.
I feel like every time we land, she pulls this, and Rhino and I have to go, and as it's slowing down, we have to jump out while it's still moving, hook on some tow cables to either side, and like, you know,
Yeah,
pull
you
it
gotta count, and you get in the
Kinda-
flim and the flam, and you go backwards as I go.
and tie them off to like some ship mooring
Yeah,
attachments or whatever.
I like
Nice.
what Rhino was just suggesting, that also, yeah, it's proprietary, so it like doesn't do well anywhere except for its little landing pads.
All right, you've entered the first set, the Phoebus City Shakedown.
It's time to party.
Yeah, your goal for the set is to uncover Trix's new identity.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
A third name. How can you keep track of all those names? It's already got 2.
So
Right?
in this, it's pretty busy space. It's like Penn Station of spaceports. Phoebus City is a pretty urban hub. Lots of folks in and out all the time. It's just oppressive bodies. There's in the sort of foyer in the main atrium, word for architectural big space. There's like a big gold colored statue of like a rising phoenix that has like holographic flames underneath it, and people mostly like super upper class looking, traveling in and out. Not a lot of can each of you just describe what you look like so we can get an idea of that?
You should say that, because I just had an idea. I was about to look up, try to paste in as my picture on the character.
Oh yeah, there are also picture spaces there.
Trying to remember this character's name.
I need to go grab
Yeah.
a electrical cord,
Okay.
but I can hear you.
Always.
Always.
Oh yeah, what was that dude's name? Well, that's a great picture. If it was just him, it'd be even better. But here I'm going to save that image as Grin. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I don't know if there's a way for me to do it on stream, but in chat, there's a picture now. Yeah, I'll put it in my.
Ah, yeah, that's
the guy on the
Fred.
right. The guy on the right in that picture.
Wait, where's the right side? I don't see any right side.
In the green jacket. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure.
I don't think there's a green jacket on this guy.
Did I not?
Oh,
put
that's
him?
Rhino. That's Rhino. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. In there with the Liam Neesons.
Oh. I
That
was
was-
gonna look like that diner guy from Star Wars.
Dexter.
Yes.
Yeah, Hexter Dexter.
Nice.
Wait, who? I don't know. How am I
Dexter.
unfamiliar with this? I'm a Star Wars guy.
He's got the diner, like the 50s diner. Most people have probably blocked out of their memory.
In
Yeah.
Which Star Wars?
I think the
It's
second
in
one.
the Force Awakens.
Oh, the new Star Wars. Okay.
No, it's in like the Attack of the Clones, right?
No, Dexter Chester. Let me I'll get a
'Cause-
picture.
Obi-Wan went and talked with him.
I definitely feel like it's
Uh,
something I haven't seen. I haven't seen all of it.
Train spotting Obi-Wan went and talked to him.
Appearances in episode 2, also Star Wars Journey's Beginnings by
Oh,
indirect
okay.
mention. The prequel trilogy, a graphic novel, Queen's Shadow,
Okay, that
Tales
guy.
from Wild Space. and
Yeah, you're
Dimension
right.
and Aftermath, a non-canon appearance in Disney Infinity 3.0.
Yeah.
Dexter
Let me-
Chester.
Wow, I
Dexter.
apparently just don't like the prequels so much that I've forgotten everything about them. I guess.
Just like a chunky, kind of ambiguous little
He's a
little-
chunk, a
little
chunkster.
dude. Little
With only
dude
2
person.
arms. Only 2 arms.
What?
Oh.
Why do I only get 2 arms?
Because there's only humans. There's no aliens.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
It's a
Well,
cold,
I'm gonna get a
lonely
spell
universe.
and get extra arms because I really want them now.
You have a new drive at this point.
Get
So-
more arms.
And then so we got 2 chunky boys. We got also like Pocoroso, the Rhino features.
Yeah.
So Gren is basically the only one who's kind of like dapper looking, right?
I mean, I guess so. I'm
Yeah.
cropping my picture here.
Cool. So, most people probably don't realize that you're traveling together. And
What
most
makes
of
you
the
say
folks,
that?
most of the folks at the space station there, just aren't aren't sure you belong.
Oh,
Well, I figure in this circumstance, probably
Probably good, right?
Rhino.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Rhino probably just not usefully kicks in his biotech for a chitinous protective skin, just because he
Cool.
kind of wants to express, please don't talk to me. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, and I think my Zephyr's defense is often naivete in social situations. I think Zephyr has spent so much of their life learning how to like physically is very good when in a physical situation to like outmaneuver someone, but when it comes to social stuff, is like everyone seems like they're in a weird mood today.
Cool. So you are able to find Trix's place pretty easily. It's a tall, like cylindrical building. It's not in the center of the city. It's kind of off on the, I guess it would be west side, the upspin side
What's
of the planet. And it's not gross, but it's less shiny than the rest of the city. So there's like a big like a hollow cylinder, it looks like it was built to be sort of a gleaming silver pillar, but over the years has sort of gotten worn and is more of a brushed steel cylinder.
Fencer.
Rhino, what is the what can you see about the building that sort of tells you that this neighborhood has been sort of left to go rot?
Well, I feel like the first thing he does when he's near the building is just kind of experimentally tap his bat against it a few times.
Yep.
And I think when he does that, some piece of decoration attached to it just kind of falls from the building. He's just like, boom, boom, oh. And looks up and sees that there have been a lot of bits of decor attached around the cylinder, and most of them have fallen off or become rusted and decrepit.
Cool. How about Zephyr?
Something that I do that indicates that this place is fallen into disrepair.
Yeah, something you can see that just tells you like this has seen better days.
There's the sidewalks stop. Or the like futuristic sidewalk. There's no like area to walk. You kind of have to walk where vehicles are.
Cool. What about Gren?
Like a lot of overgrowth. Just like lawns aren't kept. There's lots of vines creeping over the sidewalks, and just any kind of flora is just a little bit out of control.
Cool. Yeah, and the name of the building is actually the what's the word I said? The pillar. The pillar arms.
The pillar arms.
Caterpillar.
This guy can't even afford a good place to stay. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. He's in debt to a lot of people.
What do you do?
Should we
none of the awakened have a lot.
Yeah. Well, like, should we have like a play act that we do in case we run into somebody? Like, I don't know. They just go in and being like, we're bounty hunters looking for this guy is gonna. Remember last time we did that?
I mean, you're probably right.
Didn't go well.
But we have cover identities as like building inspectors.
Yeah, let's inspect some buildings. That's what I know. I know buildings.
He's thinking. Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
But yeah, that's a thing that we have kind of to hand now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. If you enter the lobby, There's not even a front desk. There's basically kind of like an automat style, just like row of buttons with name tags actually written mostly in marker, and one door leading in, and most of them have little touchpads or buttons. And you can easily find his. There's hundreds of them stacked on this thing, but you can easily find his, and his is, on the 30th floor.
So
3012.
Steps up and starts mashing the button incessantly.
Oh, I hate it when he presses all the buttons.
When you press the button, the little it looks like just a little piece of whiteboard, but it's actually a little sort of liquid crystal display that's just sort of red. Like it's like getting your thumb wet and trying to unlock your iPhone.
Yeah, button doesn't work.
Sometimes Rhino does this with the soft serve machine and one of the many like all you can eat buffet areas, and that soft serve machine has just never been the same.
He's not delicate with
Not a delicate fella.
Nah.
equipment. Very assertive and impatient.
It does serve him in many other ways.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Just not in elevators where you have to wait and press the right button. I just imagine we're just having this little like banter as we're like very slowly going up.
And I imagine in the background, there, like Rhino is walking by trying to force open a door marked stairwell.
Actually, do you want to? I believe there is a stairwell there. Do you want to see if you can bust that door open?
I mean, Rhino is obviously going to do that.
Yeah.
You already got your hackles up too. You got your
He's so
Dragon
impatient.
style.
This skin
Yeah.
thing happening.
Let's make that a risk roll, I think. 'Cause,
Okay.
Yeah. So the door is probably so it is not open, and you'd expect, judging the neighborhood, there may be some kind of alarm on it. What do you hope will happen?
What I hope will happen is that the door just isn't even locked, pops right open.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a working like moving chair that will go up the stairwells, like they have in fancy apartment buildings.
Yeah, and gremlins. Yeah. Cool. So now on a risk roll, everyone can say what could go wrong. So I'll start and just say, it just straight up, it's alarmed, and when you try to force it open, whether it actually opens or not, some sort of building security is alerted.
There are no stairs. It's just a shaft.
I love it.
In the process of busting open the door, the person who is about to open it from the other side basically gets assaulted.
Nice.
Ow, that would hurt.
All three of these things. Okay.
Cool. I will take those into consideration. Cool. So
They're
you
not
can
mutually exclusive.
roll one light die if you have a skill that is appropriate, or a piece of equipment.
The titanium crowbar seems like the most
Absolutely does.
obvious thing for this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that. And I'm
Cool.
rolling one.
So you're rolling one now. You
Okay.
get another light die for accepting a Call of the Void, which is something that will happen regardless of whether you succeed or not. And again, anyone can offer a thing, and you can accept or reject any of them that are reasonable. Not like, I dropped my ice cream. So I'm gonna put forth, like, if you want to take a Call of the Void, which gives you an extra die, the alarm will go off regardless. Does anyone else have anything?
Is this like
Oh,
a
but
bad
he'll have
thing?
an extra die.
Yeah,
a
this
bad
is
thing
like
that happens.
a bad thing that will happen.
So these
For
are basically like if he can choose to take this, and he'll get an extra die, and this thing will happen.
Add some difficulty. Okay.
Yeah.
And I might
Whether
not
or
get
not
the
he
door
succeeds.
open.
His crowbar gets stuck. Is that
Oh.
too mean? That's too much. That doesn't feel nice. It gets a little damaged.
It would have to be. I think it would have to be at like lost or broken beyond repair for to count as a Call of the Void. So
The Call of Void has to be like, oh yeah, it gets lost.
Yeah, so taking away equipment is definitely on the table.
Sorry, I should have. I don't feel good about that.
No, you're good. He doesn't have to accept.
Okay, he can.
Oh, good.
Should he take this extra die, he will pry the door open, but the inertia from prying the door open will effectively make him assault one of the two of us.
Oh, okay. So one of you will.
Yeah, it breaks
take
the door
some
open and
consequences.
accidentally whacks one of the two of us. With his
great.
Or
crowbar.
like a piece of metal flies off of it and hits one of the other people.
He's gonna
So,
choose that.
These are just
over
offers.
I think any of those are good. So you can choose one of those or reject them all and just.
Do you like your friends or your belongings?
You can also add a dark die to this roll if you are willing to risk your mind or body in order to succeed.
So many options.
This
Oh
is
my
Rhino
God.
we're talking about. I don't think really a look after your body type of person.
Okay, so I would have 3 dice if I were to take one Call of the Void and 1 risk of my body or mind.
Yeah.
And what is my goal with the dice?
You want to, so it's the same thing. You'll take the highest die. 6 means you just succeed. 4 or 5 means that you succeed with a complication. 1 to 3 means you fail and things get worse.
And so if he takes none of these, he just has one
He's just
die?
rolling 1 die. Yeah. And when you're rolling a dark die, there's a chance that your burn will go up as well.
Yeah.
And also, if you don't like your die roll, you can add another dark die and roll again.
Oh no. Okay.
We all die at this encounter. This is as far as we get.
Yeah.
And then
It's
we
a door.
explode. We explode.
I kind of want to take the Call of the Void of the alarm going off regardless.
All right,
Yeah.
great. So that'll be 2 white dice.
Story-wise, that amuses me. I don't feel like putting my mind and body in danger for getting the door open, but I'll just take two dice then and roll them.
Yeah, 2 dice and tell me what the highest one is.
And I'll use the broom this time. A 3 and a 4.
A 3 and a 4. So you will succeed, but there will be some sort of complication in addition to the alarm.
Yes.
Or you can add a dark die to your roll and re-roll.
Let's see. Sure, I'll add a dark die.
Ooh.
All right.
And re-roll.
So
the
are you
highest.
rolling twice on the roller?
I was going to roll 3 and have the third one be the dark die.
Okay, awesome. Perfect.
Which might have killed me. I don't know. So I get the light dice are 2 and 3. The dark die is 6.
Oh, well, you absolutely succeed 100%, but you also take a burn because it is higher. It's the highest die, and it is higher than your current burn.
Okay.
But you definitely super do it. So yeah, tell me how the door works. The door and the ascent work with the alarm going off.
Oh God. So yeah, the door pops. The door pops right open, I guess. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
super
figure out
easy.
what kind of injury I can sustain here.
Well, you succeed opening the door 100%. It's just that the alarm is going off is the only complication.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, but I thought you said there was a damage to body thing.
Oh yeah,
The
you
dark
took a
die.
burn. Yeah. So yeah, describe how that
My notion
wearies
is
your
that
body or
there
something.
actually is a gremlin chair mount thing in there. And so this is one of the few times we have seen him smile so far. He's like, goes up, gets in the little chair. The chair begins ascending and then breaks enough. It basically dumps him over the banister down the stairs.
Perfect. And yeah, as soon as you pop the door, just red light in the stairwell, no lights outside, like the strobing, like the really obnoxious strobing lights, and just like a really high pitch, like ping, 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 unauthorized entry, ping, ping.
Son of a.
Okay, and my burn is up to 3 now.
Yeah. Cool. You are able to go up if you want to. What would you like to do?
Up we go.
Up we go. Y'all following with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. quickly, I suppose. Probably.
Yep, we're gonna hustle up there.
Cool. Yeah, so you after it takes a little while because Rhino is got a sprained ankle or whatever. But yeah, you make up to the 30th floor. You're able to pop that door just as easily. Alarm's already going off, so it's no problem. And basically, it's a corridor that goes around the circle, the tube of the building, and both sides of the corridor have like 3 foot wide doors, square, stacked three up. So on both sides. So this looks like some sort of like coffin apartment type of deal. And you're easily able to find his, which is one of the bottom coffins a ways down the hallway.
The bottom coffins.
What would you do?
I mean,
So one of my skills is it's. Oh, I see. It's having to do with mechanics, not to do with courts.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, I can rig a whole jury.
Kind of.
I see. Yeah, just trying to see if I have anything useful. I mean, I do mechanical thingies, so I wonder if we want to.
there we go. Now I have a portrait.
Nice.
Anybody watching can now see what I look
I'm
like.
gonna put me riding the hedgehog.
Nice.
Never said how big it is.
For some reason, I can't paste an image into the image URL spot.
Oh, weird.
Huh. Oh no, you can
Oh,
only. It's
I
just
had
a
to-
URL. Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
do through insert.
Me too. Yeah. Insert image. To
Mm.
the... But
So we're there at the coffin.
You're there at the coffin. You're able to find his. It's closed. Alarms are still going off, but. You are
Oh,
right
should we
there.
just like knock on the door?
hey, we're building
We're-
inspectors. Remember?
We're
Maybe-
pretending to be building
Yeah,
inspectors.
you're building inspectors.
Oh,
We're
so maybe we'll
we're
pretend
inspecting
to have
this.
the keys. Maybe we'll like try to pick the lock.
Mhm.
Well, we could be also investigating this faulty alarm system that keeps going off
Yeah.
when
but I'm
people
kind
use
of-
their totally valid key cards.
If you want to try to pop it open in some way, these coffin apartment doors are way lower security than the main door downstairs. So I think it's
so
going to be
sad.
pretty easy to just like break into any one of these.
Yeah, and
that you'd like to.
I'm kind of a strong person, so I don't
Yeah.
imagine that I would be the one picking locks. Yeah, I'll just try to bust the door down.
Yeah, I think you're easily able to do that. These are kind of tinfoil doors.
Hello.
yeah. And what you see is pretty much what you expected to see. It's about like 8 feet, 8.5 feet deep, maybe 3 or 4 feet square, and it's got just like a very thin foam bed, a little like cooler that comes out of the floor to keep sandwiches or whatever in, a couple little boxes for personal effects, a screen that's on the ceiling of it right above where you would be laying. And that's about it. It is cheap. It is very, it's very cold in here. It feels like probably the AC on these units just like
I
cranked up.
never
all the
got
way.
used to being warm again after being cold, is what I hear.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weekend. I
Um,
feel like their body temperature regulators kind of get broke all those years in.
Yeah.
It's true.
Freeze.
I want to
Better-
look for clues.
And once
Oh,
you,
sorry.
Oh yeah. Once you like stick your head or crawl into the coffin, like it is surprisingly well like insulated from sound. It's very like nice and quiet. There's a hum from the machine, but like you really can't hear anything outside.
Can't hear the alarm anymore.
Yeah. It's very very strongly muffled.
That's not a good system. They should be able to hear alarms in their rooms.
Yeah, you know.
I,
Place.
I feel like Rhino
Except
is
for-
kind of sizing the place up and mutters to himself that he thinks it's a vampire. Further clarification of what that might mean.
Zephyr, were you gonna say something? Do something?
I was just gonna look around for clues because I haven't gotten to roll any die yet.
Yeah. Tell me where you're looking.
I want to look behind the TV panel
Oh yeah, that's
because it's
great.
a common spot where
Yeah,
I
for
learned from
sure.
Grin the other day that like any screen is a potential hiding spot.
Yeah. Cool. So you'll start with 1 die. If you have a scalar piece of gear.
You don't want to hear
that's
how I
appropriate.
learned it? Grin has a lot of porn all over the ship and every screen.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
Anyway, what scalar piece of equipment do you think might be useful here?
oh, what do I have? Oh, super glue, cloth mask, and a hedgehog.
Hedgehog.
My trident is probably the most useful thing.
Or strength. I think just if you're just gonna yank it off.
I got big muscles,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yank it.
Not nearly as
Want
cool
to
as a
yank
trident.
Just like trying to get it in there, like
Wedge it. Awesome. Roll 2 dice and tell me which one is the highest.
okay. I rolled a 6 and a 3. 6 is highest.
Awesome. You 100% do it. Take a hunt token.
Yeah, gimme.
Um,
But that's not something bad's gonna happen there too, right?
no, 6 means that you get it clean. So
So I'm
again,
confused with Apocalypse.
What's that?
I'm confusing it with Apocalypse stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because 6 is the highest you can get.
6 is
Okay.
the highest you can get. So you get 1 hunt token here on the hunt.
All right. I'm really good at finding things behind TV.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Keep this in mind for future stuff with
There.
your character.
Sweet. So again, a hunt token, you can spend a hunt token to find a piece of loot or something that you could hawk later on for a credit. Or you can, and this is all combined, if you'd like, you can spend 3 hunt tokens to find the next, go to the next set, basically, solve the set.
I think I'm going to save mine for that unless we find something cool and shiny in which we'll spend it immediately.
Yeah. And pretty much any time anyone can say like, hey, I'm going to spend a hunt token for treasure. What do I get? And I'll give you something appropriate. And that's not just to further expound on that. That's not the only way you get treasure. If you, or loot or whatever. If you're in someone's office, they leave and they've got like a Holovid Emmy statue or whatever, and you decide just to walk with that, like that's yours. You get it, and you can sell it later. So if you just find stuff, you can take it and sell it. You don't need a hunt token for it.
Called stealing.
It's called stealing. Yep, that's exactly it.
Liberating.
Yeah.
It's smuggling.
It's been
Appropriating.
abandoned like a party barge.
I feel like Rhino has a hollow Emmy aboard the ship and no one knows where it is. It's just such a weird damn thing to steal.
Cool. Yeah. So you poke around that behind the TV and around the coffin, and it looks like not only like has someone not been there for a little while, probably the same amount of time as he's been missing. It looks like things were not packed to be taken. Like there's a bunch of dirty clothes. The little food storage thing still has a couple bits and pieces in it, and some protein bars and whatnot. There's even a little clip wallet with an ID with Thomas's name on it. So it looks like he just probably walked without packing anything.
So we have all of Thomas's ID now?
Yeah, if you want to hang on to that.
I also feel like, is this a thing we can do? Like, I feel like, Zephyr's got the whole clue thing covered. I sort of feel like, maybe there's some valuable stuff in here we could appropriate.
He was not well off.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe there is some protein bars.
You could probably take a few garbagey things, but you're not going to be able to sell them for much, if anything.
It's more for sentimental value.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah, protein bars. You can take his ID.
We could take that little gremlin chair I think Rhino really liked it. We could get it up on the Lido deck, and then
You know,
Gremlin
in his wallet, actually, now that you look through it, there is actually kind of like a loyalty card from a gambling parlor. And there's a bunch of in this neighborhood. This one's the
Oh no.
Let's go to party.
I was hoping the gambling parlor was another party barge from the Fulcrum line.
I love gambling bars.
That's pretty much all you have here. And the alarm is still going off outside. What
There's
would you like to do?
Something about the overwhelm of it reminds me of this alarm. Like I love the overwhelm of the senses. I feel like it's like a catharsis. You don't get stuck with your own thoughts anymore. You just come one with the ching ching ching.
Rhino silently nods as he eats a protein bar.
I mean, hey, maybe that's
cool.
less
What
ship
next?
food we have to eat.
It becomes like more and more apparent that maybe the cruise ship was chosen and not the only option.
What next?
Damn fine question. So we're trying to find out his name. His new
Oh,
name.
Thomas Benson or
His new
Thomas?
identity.
his
Tricks.
new name.
Oh yeah, I bet if we go to this gambling place, we could learn some names.
And pretend to be him via his ID cards.
Yeah. We could each try to be him and see.
Identity fraud.
It's a fun crime.
Oh, did Heath freeze?
Oh, did I?
No, okay.
Oh,
No, I think he was just sitting
Just
really
standing-
still.
Listening intently.
No, Mark has been doing this all day. This like pretend. We can
I've
see
been-
you blink. We can see you blink.
Okay, we can finally talk about Mark. No.
Cool. So the name of the gambling place is the Four Jacks. It is a short walk by if you want to leave.
We don't have to. I
It's up to
defer
you,
the
yeah.
team.
No,
I just know that Zephyr loves to go to gambling places.
I mean, Zephyr
Yeah.
can go whether the team goes or not. You don't have
That's
to stick
true.
together.
Just waddle on over there.
Yeah, is Zephyr already familiar with the Four Jacks?
Yeah. Yeah. So Zephyr won't be able to be the one to do the ID fraud.
Cool.
Cool. Let me see who has a hiding. Gren, can I just get it? Can you just roll a d6 for me and tell me what
Oh
you get?
no.
I can.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Just
We're
a single.
doomed.
Good.
Yeah,
We're
just a single
doomed.
one.
How
It's
about
never
a
good.
4?
4. Great. Yeah, so the Four Jacks is nearby. Gren, you get the feeling that you might be being followed after you leave the buildings, but you don't see anyone, and you can't really see anyone suspicious nearby. So maybe just a weird feeling you have.
I feel like maybe I can be like, hey, and I feel like we as a team probably kind of have some unspoken communication. Like I feel
Oh,
like they would
yeah.
know what they mean or what I mean when I say, hey, you know what, why don't you two roll on ahead? I'm going to see if I can find a snack or something. I'll meet you there.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I'll save you a seat.
Could Zephyr go on ahead and then Rhino finds like a hiding place on the street to keep an eye on things?
Sure.
Offer
Yeah.
backup if,
I will
I feel like
happily
maybe
go ahead.
that's the plan that they usually agree on.
And what's Gren's role?
I think sort of to be since I'm the one who sort of noticed it, I feel like I try to be the most obvious so that hopefully if they're going to follow someone, they're going to keep
Bait.
following me. Yeah, I'm like the bait.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
You know, the one trying to be seen,
Yeah.
very obviously walking along the street looking for a snack vendor or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do that, and before too long, like after a block or two, Rhino sees clearly someone who is like stopping when Gren is stopping, moving when Gren is moving, kind of hanging out in doorways as you go along. And it's kind of just like a weedy, skinny dude, probably not even 20. Just got like a beat up like kind of plastic jacket, and just kind of like doing his best to kind of tell Tailgren, but not doing a great job at it.
Oh, buddy.
But he's doing his
He's trying.
best.
He's trying real
Yeah.
hard.
Just have some fun with him. Just have some fun with him.
Yeah, I will. I'm definitely, gonna, do some things that amuse me. Even if he doesn't realize,
Like what?
Yeah, and at this point, Rhino is kind of hefting the baseball bat, but let's go. He's like, no.
Hey,
Let Gren
looking-
work this out.
See if I can find, are there any adult-oriented shops around?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna head into one of the adult-oriented shops.
What's the name of the shop?
Oh god.
Picking up all the dildos.
The Black Hole. Nice.
The black hole. Yeah.
I told you, Mark.
Dildos.
Trying to-
Whoever
I was showing him
suggested
pictures
dildos,
of black
there you
holes
go.
yesterday and saying that they were buttholes.
Great. You go to the dildo shop, and Rhino, is following from a respectful distance, and sees the dude just sort of take up residence in a doorway across the street. Just hangs out with watching the door.
So, all right. So he's not. So he can't really see me once I'm in the shop, right?
Right. He's just watching the door and waiting for it to come out.
I'm guessing in this, world that there's some I'd have some way to communicate with Rhino, like
Yeah.
communicators of some kind or whatnot.
Yeah. You got. What does your communicator look like?
I feel like it's probably something very inconspicuous on my coat, like a button or something.
Nice.
So that it's not, obvious, not like a Star Trek badge. It's like just tap one of my buttons on my coat.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of inform him, hey, or do I know? Oh, I guess no. Rhino knows where the other guy is.
Yeah. You haven't been seeing him.
Yeah.
Rhino knows.
I was like, so should I want me to just hang out here while you find our friend and ask him some questions, or meet you there in a few minutes after you've grabbed him? Let's move.
I feel like Rhino has the equivalent of a cell phone, but it's kind of like the Expanse, where it's a transparent piece of glass with a
Nice.
crack right through the center of it.
Nice.
And so he's got this upload. And what was the question again, Heath? Sorry.
Just sort of what's the plan here? Like, do you want to grab him and then I'll come meet you across the street, or?
And then like a tiny little smile creeps on Rhino's face. I'll grab him. Rhino out.
Nice. So a little dude standing in a doorway with eyes burning on the door of the black hole. What's your move?
I think it's just like doorway of the shop, doorway of the shop. Rhino kind of comes into view in front of that, and
Yeah, as soon as you he's like, what do you? Out of my way! Out of my way!
and I think he's immediately saying, like, I think at certain points he quotes from the Book of Morality.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
like, yeah, the Book of Morality, chapter 5.
I was hoping for this.
The purging of desires says that he that indulges only becomes the desire.
I'm not.
Now, you
Look,
want
I'm just
it?
waiting. I'm just waiting for a friend to come out, man. I'm not into that shit. Just keep moving.
Sure you are. Baseball bat comes out and taps methodically on the ground.
He looks nervous and just puts his hand in his jacket's pockets. Like, this is your last chance, man. I'm warning you. You don't want to mess with us.
Okay, so this is probably dumb.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I think Rhino does the skin thing again. And let's see. Yeah, there's nothing else here. I think he doesn't use the bat. I think he just grabs the hand and tries to force it in a direction
All right.
that's not at him.
Cool. This sounds like a combat roll then.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yeah. So this
was a
is
bad idea.
Yeah, we'll find
Yay.
out. This is a lone shark. He has a endurance of 7, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So you're engaging the enemy in direct conflict. When you grab his arm, how are you exposing yourself to injury or attack?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I think it's just the proximity. Like if he has any weapon that works well at close range. I would say maybe also that his focus is kind of centering in on what he's doing and not what the loan shark is doing. That's probably the main source of risk right now.
All right, cool. Sweet. So the way it's gonna work, you're gonna roll one die, and it's gonna be your weak point.
Okay, I'll use the room again. Let's see. How do I? Okay, roll it. My weak point is 6.
That's great. That's fine. It really doesn't matter that much what the point is.
Okay.
So we're gonna get a dark die for each bounty hunter involved in the attack. Right now, that is 1.
Okay.
You will take the top 2 dice, add them together, and try to meet or beat his endurance, which is 7 right now. So roll 1 die, and we'll see what happens.
I rolled a 1.
All right, so you did not, but you also didn't hit your weak point, which is good.
I'm guessing that was also like coming to join him shortly, though, right? Was sort of the plan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to like you're probably communicating like, hey, time to go.
Yeah, I figured after I
Meanwhile-
told him to grab him, I was going to like go over there to meet him.
Meanwhile,
Okay,
Zephyr.
cool. We'll get you in on the next round of combat then and fuck him up. Awesome. So yeah, he pulls a knife, like a little cheap shitty knife out of his pocket, and sort of jabs it at your belly. But the dragon's den just turns it away, and he like looks pretty surprised and you've got your hand on his arm. And I think this is where Gren comes in.
Uh-oh. So I come in, it's obviously like there's fighting, like obviously, right? Like, oh, this is a fight happening.
Yeah.
Well, then I think it's time to whip out the laser hydro whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that thing.
What setting is it on right now?
There's only one of them. I don't want to get too crazy because just 2 of us involved. Don't either. So I think I just flick it on like just a nice single whip, laser whip.
That's a setting I would never use.
I know, it's the boring setting.
How do you expose yourself to injury or attack?
It's kind of close quarters, so I figure it's a little bit hard to wield a sort of swingy weapon like that. So I could, things go badly.
Me.
Yeah, hit me or Rhino.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Roll 1 die to see what your weak point is.
Not a super precision weapon. Hey, how about a 6?
Cool. So you will both take burn if someone rolls a 6.
Awesome.
Cool. So after each round of combat, we add a die. So if you were fighting by yourself, you would be rolling 2. So now you'll be rolling 3 dice, adding the top 2 together and seeing if it's 7 or better. And either one of you could do that.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll 3.
Okay, go ahead.
6 has been hit.
Oh no!
6, 1, and 2. So we both take a
6, 1,
burn,
2.
and
Cool.
my burn is now up to 4, I think.
As is mine.
Oh no, you guys can't die in an alley while I'm lollygagging.
But you do match his weak point, or match his endurance, and he is defeated. Tell me what that looks like between the 2 of you.
Well, I like to think Rhino has just grabbed his arm and is lifting him up by it.
How does a laser whip come into it?
Yeah, well, I think like Rhino's got it under control, and I'm not needed anymore. But just out of principle, I get one last lash in with the whip after he's being hung there by Rhino.
Probably tag Rhino in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's where Rhino gets his burn from.
So do either of you have armor that you want to check off?
I have the trench coat.
Yeah, you don't have to do it now, but it is an option.
But if I check the trench coat, I don't get the burn, is the idea?
Yeah, but you won't be able to use it again until next excursion, basically.
Or until because it gets reset when we go back to the station or whatever. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So basically, like, later you might be fighting someone who gets 3 hits on you, which would be bad. So
yeah, I'll hold on to armor,
Okay.
I guess, for now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fully
he,
aware that I'm probably going to kill this character so about halfway through this thing.
um,
Right.
Uh,
We're gonna be so sad when Rhino dies.
Gren, go ahead and roll 7 dice and tell me how many 6s you get.
Oh yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, big bucks. Hey, 3 6s.
What the?
Nice.
Wow.
So yeah, as Rhino is kind of shaking him down,
Oh, no.
what do you get out of him? Like 3 things, or 3 of one thing, or one big thing that you can hawk for 3 credits?
Well, I think first off, he's got a credit. Today was apparently payday from his boss, so he just got a fresh credit chip he hadn't deposited yet.
Nice, unmarked.
Yeah. So that's just fresh credit. Then I feel he also had like a equivalent of like whatever, like a blackjack, but a sci-fi blackjack. I don't know what that would look like.
Hey,
Something,
Jack.
something to rough people up that he needs to rough
Cudgel.
up. Yeah, cudgel of some kind. And then he also his hat is quite dapper.
Nice, very very fancy hat.
Very fancy hat.
Cool. Each of those will be worth 1 credit when you want to sell them after the excursion. Put them on your found items sheet, and you can divvy them up as you want later on.
Okay.
Cool. So this guy is not a problem anymore. He is frightened, dismayed, impressed, and on the edge of consciousness. What would you like to ask him?
I figure at this point also I'd go ahead and contact Zephyr
Yeah.
and let her, since she's probably waiting, like where the hell are they? And be like, hey, we got Mr. Followy Pee Tom guy. You wanna come back and meet us? Here's my location.
Okay.
do you want to do stuff at the casino before going back? It's up to you.
I was gonna poke around a little.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we can meet you there, or you can meet us here, or whatever.
Just
Well,
a pile
let's-
of chips in front of them.
Yeah,
The
it's like-
crowd around them.
Everyone, yeah,
Let's-
people are like behind me. You can hear people cheering me on. Like I'm on a hot streak right now.
Let's actually jump to that before we do an interrogation. So you show up at the casino, 4 jacks. Someone opens the door for you.
Yeah, someone opens the door. I like demur. I always have this game I play with them where I'm like, oh, I'm not here to play today. Like, I just wanted to say hi to an old friend. And then there's this whole ritual of like, no, just play one game, back and forth. Anyway, cut to now I'm like got chips in front of me and the crowd behind me.
A
I
pile
think
of free drinks.
before we jump to you winning a whole bunch, I think there are scanners as you go in the door,
Yeah.
and after you walk in, someone in a cheap suit basically comes up to you and like, Zephyr, is it? Zephyr
Yeah.
is a they. It's a pleasure to see you again. Do you have a friend with you?
Yep.
Produces the hedgehog from a pocket.
Okay, I did bring him a little bit. He comes everywhere though.
I'm asking after Mr. Fenson. Is he with you?
Mr. Fenson. Oh. I also asked a guest for Mr. Fenson. What do you know?
So he is not with you.
Not with you? I think
Well-
Zephyr is trying to confuse this person into giving information.
I'm sorry, our security system just indicated that you arrived with him.
Oh, did you see him?
No, his ID came up on the scan when you entered.
Your ID just came up.
Nicole, as a person, is not good at this kind of. Oh, that's weird.
Would you mind coming to the security room for a moment?
Well, What? Sorry.
We just want to
My-
ask you a couple questions in a less public venue.
You do.
I don't want to do that.
You could just book it if you want, or whatever else you like, or you could try and talk him out of it. Or
I think I'm curious if I can get information out of him through this
Yeah.
interview, though.
why don't we?
I think
do
I'm gonna
a
play dumb and be like,
hunt roll then, yeah.
yeah. I think I want to be like, all right, anything for you. I'm not gonna cause any problems.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I
would you like
wanna-
a hunt roll?
She's so helpful.
Yeah, I just want to do a. Yeah, I want to do a hunt roll.
Cool.
I'm just gonna like
great.
try to play dumb, but like try to be like, oh, why are you looking for him? I was looking for him because, well, there's supposedly some bounty, but like he's really hard to track down.
So you get 1 die to start off with. Is there any skill or piece of equipment that might be?
I'm gonna try to use my hedgehog for everything.
Nice.
How would your hedgehog help in this case?
I don't think it will.
How would it not?
Let's see. I got glue though. Glue.
How would you use glue to talk him into giving you?
I can glue his hand to the table.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm brainstorming. Let me brainstorm.
Jury rigging, maybe?
Yeah, maybe
Oh.
I could.
MacGyver the locks or something? What is maneuvers? Oh, that's like fighting physical maneuvers.
That like
Yeah,
fighting.
that's-
Maneuvers.
That's from the piloting skill, but can also relate to other stuff as well. Like
Yeah,
if she was running, if they were running, then that'd be like, oh, you could definitely use maneuvers on that risk roll.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think I'm like ready to book it if I need to, but that's not going to help me with the roll.
Well, we
I
can
don't
just
really
go ahead
see
and-
what I could
yeah.
use.
Let's just go ahead and roll with 1 then and see what we get.
Yeah, why not?
Worst that can happen is death.
Yeah, I can just die. I rolled a 6, motherfuckers.
Nice. Cool.
Nice.
Take a hunt token then. So you have
Yeah,
2.
so I just play dumb and find out some shit.
Yeah, so he says, I'll mark the hunt token on your sheet here for you. Cool.
Oh, I've done it.
That's all right. I got it. So
two now.
yeah, he says, look, our security system pinged his ID when you walked in. So we assumed he had come back after a short hiatus to win back some of his losings, I guess.
Oh, to steal your money.
He owes he owes a lot of people money. Did you perchance come across his ID?
Yeah.
So I can assume you're some sort of private investigator, also looking after him.
Does this employee
You're a PI too?
No, I'm just work security here at the Four Jacks.
Oh, so like you're like a PI, but you can't leave this building.
I'm just an eye.
Kind of like a detective, but you can't do anything.
No, and it pays much less.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry, man.
Speaking of,
Just kind of leaning on the camaraderie of
yeah.
we're in
I
the
don't
same
pay you
business.
enough.
So my employers are very, very interested. In fact, there's a pool going on with the security team here, and
Ooh.
I wouldn't mind taking some of their money as well. It's not exactly
Yeah.
gambling. It's
Let me help you out.
here's go. So what does your communicator thing look like?
Let's see. Grin's got a little button. Rhino has a
Cracked
Um,
iPhone screen.
cracked iPhone screen. I imagine mine is like those little harmonica players.
Nice. And so
Just, like,
he takes
put
like
it
a
up.
what looks like a pass card or whatever, and he kind of like waves it near your neck, and it goes beep 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 beep. It's like, cool. This
That's
is
not
my
a great security.
contact information. You can accept it, or reject it. This is my information. If you find any details, my employer would be very interested in any information leading to the location of Mr. Fenson, and as usual, we'll pay a finder's fee.
I didn't catch your name, man.
Just call me Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gray. You know what? I'm rooting for you in the office pool.
Well, I
I
appreciate
think
any
you've
help
got
you
a
can give me.
chance.
Cool. Back to Little Loan Shark Dude.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
The whole thing that was happening. I forgot.
So I guess we were going to ask him something. Would it make sense to just ask Loan Shark Dude, like, what do you know about Fenson? What name does he have now?
that sounds like
Sounds
a hunt
legit.
roll too. Who's
Oh
asking?
no.
we're just doing Brindlewood again, aren't we?
Brindlewood
Missed.
in space.
With space.
With guns.
With guns.
So who's doing the talking?
Which one of us do you think?
You have the negotiation skill,
It's true, I
Um,
do.
whereas I'm more just the tenaciously holding him in place.
Cool.
Like so.
That'll do it.
All right, sure.
That's
Yeah. So
all right.
Gren can go ahead and roll 2 dice.
Not 7 again.
Second
Let's
dice.
see. 2 dice come in. Pow! How about a 4 and a 6?
Oh, 6. Great. Take yourself a hunt token.
Yeah.
That's up to 2. Put that on there for you.
Sweet.
Cool. So y'all have 5 hunt tokens between you if you want to spend them to just get the thing that you need.
Or if we save them, we can get the big giant stuffed animal.
Exactly. I mean, they're so valuable
That is the biggest stuffed animal available.
because we can also use them for what else? There's the other thing we can use them for that I felt like
You can
was a
trade
better
them 1
thing.
for 1 for credit stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we want to do 3 to
I
get
don't
some?
know. I'm a fan of credits, man. We're
I
gonna
know
need
you are.
credits.
You
We got
just shook
so
him like
much-
a pinata. You just got 3 credits off of this little Weasley dude.
We've got so many burdens we have to take care of, and they're only gonna grow. And I gotta cure my Dahlia syndrome.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're dying.
Who isn't?
I imagine Dahlia syndrome's just like inconvenient.
It's basically like acid reflux.
Whoa, Dahlia's acting up again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, man, I eat spicy foods. It's kind of a little uncomfortable.
Oh no, we don't want to make fun of your death disease.
No, this is as good. Like, so why were you following us, buddy?
You came out of Dick Nose Fenson's place, right? You busted in and set off the alarms. So I was watching the place to see if he would show up again, and y'all just like went in like a bunch of bulls and just I don't even know, and then came traipsing out like nothing happened. So I figured I might get in trouble for abandoning my post there, but I thought you might be a good lead.
It's all true. It's can't deny what all the things you said.
And I didn't yet, Gren.
I mean, he owes
Okay.
Mr. Lawrence a lot of money, and I'm just one of the guys. I get paid the same either way, but I just want to make a good impression, and I don't want anything broken, if that's cool. So if you're not,
Oh, baby.
All right, well, look, it looks like we're all at similar purposes here. So there's no reason to get
I can break
crazy.
him, Gren, if you want.
please don't break me. Please don't break me.
I know you can, but there's no. I don't think we need that just yet, Rhino. It's cool. I know. Sorry, bud. Look.
Also, before we, I also wanted to point out the hunt thing. If you roll a 1, that
You die.
erases all of your hunt tokens. So there's kind of
that's right. I forgot about
there's
that.
kind of a push your luck thing. So you can hang on to them for a
Oh.
while, but they might all go away.
Oh no!
I forgot about
I
that.
would have spinned him.
There's plenty more where that came from.
It's true. We can think of that in a minute. We're on the same purposes here. Look, we heard he's taking on a new name. You wouldn't happen to know what that name is, would you? We can
If
trade
I
in
knew his-
information for you
If I
keeping.
knew his name, I would be going after that guy.
Who might know his new name?
If I knew that, I would be hanging outside of their apartment.
Rhino, he seems like fairly useless to us, doesn't he?
Look, just don't break me, all right? Or if you do, just
lifts
make
him
it
up by his arm again.
just make it superficial so I can have a good story, so I don't get broken by someone else.
Look.
I think Rhino just takes a finger and flicks it at his.
Ow, fucker.
What use can you be to us? We don't want to break anything, but look,
We do.
Okay, let's look. Rhino wants to break things. I'm trying to keep him from it, but if you don't have something you can give us, I don't really have a good argument with Rhino to not.
What did I do?
Things.
I was just hanging out here, man.
You were following us, man.
You were just walking down the street the same way I was, man. We could just let this go and nothing. Everyone just walk away.
You think I don't know the difference between
like little feet kick?
You think I don't know the difference between a serendipitous ambulatory path and somebody following me?
I don't know what any of that means, man. I just want to go home.
I think he's insulting you.
Thinks we're dumb.
No. You're like way smarter than me.
Followed.
You caught me and you use big words, and I just man. It's just a bad day for me.
Aww,
And you're gonna
green
sit here
bean.
and tell us you got nothing you can give us. You've no
if I did,
information.
I would give it to Mr. Lawrence. I mean,
I guess
Tell
we
us
did.
more about Mr. Lawrence.
Good one, Rhino. Good one.
He's just the guy that the boss tells me to send me on jobs. And again, if he knew anything, he would be taking care of it in a different way. He would be wasting us. He'd be sending us wherever the new dude is. Like, you can talk to him, but he's way scarier than I am. I'm scared. I don't know who I'm more scared of, him or you. So do what you have to do.
Oh,
Look,
baby.
Rhino, I know you like breaking things, but look.
But he wants to introduce us to his friend.
That's true. Look, tell you what, you introduce us to your friend, Rhino gets to keep your fancy hat and cudgel. I'll keep your fancy credit chip, and you can leave with nothing broken.
Okay.
Wow.
It sounds like a win-win deal to me.
He's carefully removing the hat and gently placing it on his own head. Where it's like a size too small.
Yeah.
I just imagine he already had a hat on and he's putting it on.
It's a hat on
several hats.
Hat on a hat.
Nice.
Yeah, he is more than willing to lead you to his boss. I don't know, it's 10 o'clock. I feel like that's a good place to break.
Break time.
Don't want to lose all our hunt credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash that shit in.
Glad you mentioned that because I forgot about that.
Unless you want to cash them in, then we can close out the set and start fresh next time.
Man.
I'm for it, but I'm not strongly. Like, if we want to save them for credits or risk it.
No, it's just tough. I feel like credits are so valuable, but I don't want to lose them all. Well, that's per person too, right? Like, we would never lose all of them. Each one of us could lose.
Oh, yeah.
So I could lose my 2. He could lose his 2. You could lose
1.
So that's not as bad. Yeah, you have 2.
Oh.
And he has 1.
Oh, Rhino has 1.
Yeah.
I have 1. Oh, I have 1 hunt token.
Yeah, 1 hunt token.
From Tinkle.
So I'm still
Twinkle.
pretty stingy with mine. Oh, but that does make a good question because you mentioned, but we can pool them together if we wanted to.
Yeah,
like,
so
we wanted
to
spin the 3.
You do 1 each or whatever you want.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to spend them, but I'd also like to talk to Mr. Lawrence before moving on.
I mean, that could be how that works out too.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what's the alternative? But you can spend 3 to get the next scene, or
the next,
or find his name some other way, which is going to involve more rolls. Which
okay.
Rolling could be good or could be bad.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with doing the scene with the boss too. Yeah. But I just meant, like, what can the hunt tokens? Heath is seeming to want them for credits, and I don't know the other alternative. I was
So the 2 things
turn
you can
them
do
in at a space station.
So you can basically turn them into me at any time. So like if you were at the casino, you could spend a hunt token, and I'd be like, since we're on the same time, my boss gave me a little stipend to do some research. Here, just take these credits, and then you can.
Yeah.
And then credits good for paying back our burdens.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and is there any way to get to the next set besides spending hunt tokens?
Finding his new name somehow, which Mr. Lawrence might know. So basically, the two ways are spend hunt tokens and get it right away, or we
Pursue
go through
the story and maybe.
pursue the story, and if it comes up, it comes up, and you did it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we can think this over probably until
Yeah. I'm
next
in
time.
no rush.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't mind not spending them. I thought that was how you progress. I didn't realize there were so many options. Fine.
Cool. Yeah. So that's a commercial break. Then we'll meet Mr. Lawrence next time.
Da-da-da.
Cool. And so that's Orion.
Fun.
So far, so
Impressions?
good. I don't think so.
Things you liked, things you would like to see more of or different.
I think I just need to get the map in my head of like how all the pieces fit together, but I don't think that like it feels like other games in which it would take like a session or two, just like Brenda would.
Yeah. I mean, overall, yeah, I am digging it. I think the most, and this is not a bad thing at all, but just like, especially like, as it was illustrated with Peter's role at times, like it can get, there's going to be so many choices, but it's like, well, you can take any one of these 3 calls to the void, or you can take this extra black die, or you can take it, which is, to me, that's never a bad thing. It's just getting the normal and being like, oh yeah. What are all the different ways we can go about doing this?
I like the story though. Like it sets itself up really easy for narrative once we got going.
Yeah, it's cool.
Or like the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, and as we know, my favorite type of where it's more concentrated on characters and gameplay and creativity, which is always more fun than just a strict. Yeah, I mean, I like systems like this, which we've tended to lean towards, which are where the rules are more generic, where it's like you can do damage with a thing. How would you like to do that damage? That's up to you. As opposed to like, I cast a fireball.
Yeah, I do like how our tactics in these scenes, whether it's combat or investigation, is kind of spinning out world building and character building as we go.
It's very cool.
It's nice.
Cool. You're all up for continuing next time?
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. Sweet. Cool. I will write up the second set and have it I know his name, but that's all I know.
Okay.
Awesome.
Right.
Sweet. Yeah. Good stuff.
Thank you for running this.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it up.
Goodbye, stream.